Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Millionaire Purpose Discovery Program. My name is Blessing Theophilus Israel. Today I'm really excited to be speaking with Daniela Bleckner. Beautiful lady, Daniela.
Thank you.
Now, Daniela, she's actually the founder of Conscious Dreams Publishing.
Yep, that's correct.
You're a best-selling author and you're a book journey mentor. Daniela, where do you find the time to do all of this?
You know what, we say time is one of the most precious things we can ever have, and we say that we never have enough of it, but it's just how you utilise and spend that time.
Sure.
So you have to create the time to do things you love.
Good. So Daniela, just look in the camera and just tell our viewers who you are and really what you do.
Okay, so my name is Daniela Bleckner. I'm an author, book journey mentor and founder of a company called Conscious Dreams Publishing. At Conscious Dreams Publishing, we provide bespoke mentoring and publishing services to authors with powerful messages and stories to share with the world. I'm absolutely passionate about assisting authors through the self-publishing process so that they can feel empowered and in charge of their book and their journey. I'm very much a believer that we all have our own unique stories, our own powerful messages, and these powerful messages and stories and journeys could be the ones to connect to people who need to hear it the most. So I'm all about just getting those stories, getting those books out there and getting those voices heard.
Sure, great. So Daniela, how did you know that this is your purpose and that this is the reason why you're on planet Earth at this time? Because there are people who maybe love books, want to publish books, but they just never get started. So for you, what was your journey like in terms of discovering that this is what you're meant to be doing?
Yeah, it's part of my purpose. Definitely, I always say, if you're not sure what to do in life, close your eyes, just meditate, go back to when you were a child. When I was 4 years old, I was quite precocious. I knew words that I don't even know the meaning of them now, but I knew the vocabulary like I was 50 or something. And I remember being asked at school, what do you want to do when you grow up? And it was never a question in my mind. I remember saying, I want to be a published author when I retire at 40 and I'm going to marry at 21. Didn't happen. But I was always very, very clear that I wanted to be a writer. I published 4 books before my 35th birthday.
Wow.
And it was just something that I knew I wanted to do. I was passionate about storytelling. Started off speaking, verbally telling stories, not lying, that's different, but verbally telling stories to my sisters, to when we went to help them go to sleep. And then it gradually moved to writing. But I didn't actually know that I wanted to assist authors through the publishing process until a much later stage. I've forgotten the question now.
Okay,
so you're cutting this.
Yeah, let me start the question. How did you basically know that this was, okay, Daniela, how did you know that this is your purpose and what you're supposed to be doing?
Yeah, I mean, when I was 4 years old, I was absolutely convinced. When I was 4 years old, I was very much a believer that I was going to be a writer. It was never a question. And I always say to people that if they're not sure what they want to do, if they're not sure of their purpose, go back to that essence of being a child when you've got that innocence where anything's possible. Close your eyes, go back to that time and just really focus within. And as a child, you don't have limitations placed on you. And I remember teachers asking at school, what do you want to do when you grow up? And it was always, I'm going to be an author. I knew words that most 4-year-olds didn't know. I'm going to be an author and I'm going to publish all my books when I retire at 40. And, eventually I published 4 books before my 35th birthday.
Wow.
And my journey to actually becoming a book journey mentor and wanting to help people through the process was very much an organic thing. So it started with my passion, and then through that created that real desire to want to help people to get their books and stories out there.
Wow, excellent. So what kind of challenges would you say you've had to overcome in order to be who you are today? Because like you said, from a young age, you knew that you wanted to be an author. You were good with words. But has it been just smooth sailing? Or have you had to overcome any major challenges?
Lots. Where to start? I don't think everything worth fighting for or anything worth doing is always going to be challenging.
Yeah.
If it's smooth sailing, that's great, but what are you learning? And I think through the adversity, through difficult times is where we learn the most. So for me, I think if I can go back to publishing my first book in 2014, I knew nothing about publishing a book. I just knew that I wanted to write, and the words came quite easy. The book's called Mr. Wrong. It's a collection of stories written by women across the world. It looks at belief systems behind some of the things that we attract, and I really was passionate about uniting and inspiring and empowering women to have a place where we could have our stories shared, but also a place where we could self-discover. And I was so passionate about what I was doing, but it was so difficult to find that path to actually go and get it published. So I did everything by rote. I, I read a book on how to get published, the traditional way. And it said the first thing you need to do is to write a query letter. So a query letter is just a standard letter that you send off to publishers or to agents. And I wrote all these letters off to agents with 3 chapters of my book, stopped writing because I was waiting for them to get back to me. So I literally waited. And then all these letters came in and they said, this is amazing, we love your writing style, you've got talent. However, you don't have a big enough following, you're an unknown artist, and they don't want to take a risk or whatever, the market isn't looking for this right now. A lot of agents now and a lot of traditional publishing companies are looking for people to show that they've got a market, for people who've got a platform. Okay. I didn't know anything about that at that time. So I didn't become disheartened. It made me feel like, right, I'm going to do what they say not to do, and that's to contact all the main kind of mainstream publishers like Random House, Penguin, who clearly say in their remit, we do not accept work from unsolicited authors. Sure. So I thought, well, I'm going to send it to them anyway. Sent it to them, and then all the letters came back. 2 letters came back. And they said basically, same thing, love the writing style, we're looking for, we're not taking unsolicited authors at this time. So I was absolutely forced to go out there and actually research as much as I could about the publishing industry. I had lots of self-publishing companies that really wanted to take my manuscript, but that was before even having read it. And I believe that there is a fundamental issue with companies that want to take thousands of pounds from you without actually having the integrity of reading your manuscript first of all. So this ties into why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I don't want people to fall into that trap. I want them to feel empowered on their journey. Sure. So the biggest challenge was just becoming obsessively, obsessed in researching the whole process and creating a team around me. Becoming an entrepreneur, as can be quite lonely as well. But when you're passionate about something, you will do it and you will overcome challenges.
Excellent. So in terms of your final advice to our viewers, there might be people who love writing, want to be an author, or maybe even want to get into publishing. What advice would you give them about how to actually get started and to really walk in that purpose, please? Okay. Looking into the camera.
Is that how to get started with book publishing, or to get started in finding their purpose?
Finding their purpose in that arena, in that field.
Okay. So what I would say to you is that if you're struggling to find your purpose, if you know that there's a deep desire inside of you to actually do more and be more, listen to that inner voice. It's so easy to, stay in your 9 to 5 or to stay in your comfort zone because that's what that's what, brings in the wage each month, that's what pays the bills. But if you believe that there is something deeper to your life, if you believe there are gifts and talents that you haven't discovered or explored, really, really just take time out for yourself. I'm not saying quit your job. I would never say that. What I'm saying is just to take time for yourself, meditate upon who you really are, find those answers, start asking those questions. What makes your heart sing? What are you passionate about? What footprint do you want to leave on this earth? What legacy do you want to leave? What impact you're going to have? How are you going to know that you were ever here? So these are the questions that I would start with first. And really, when you find those gifts and talents inside, get a mentor, find somebody who can help you to do something with those gifts and talents. No man or woman is an island, and I'm of the volition of the African proverb, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others. So surround yourself with people who are in alignment with your vision and mission and really support you and uplift you, and find a mentor, do your research. That's my advice.
I like that. Thank you very much, Danny. And Danny, if there are any viewers who perhaps want to get published with you, how can they contact you? What's the best way of getting in touch?
We're offering free 30-minute consultations where we can talk about your book, talk about the direction of your book, get a bit of clarity as well.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Lovely. Thank you very much.